I just got back from a 3-week trip to Paris, and I'm gonna share with you a budget breakdown of everything I spent during my trip. Hey guys, my name is 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐿 and I've been digital nomading for the last 5 years. Welcome to the channel. I'm here to share my experience as a traveler working online. Now, in preparing for my trip, I watched a lot of YouTube videos, read a lot of blogs. Honestly, I couldn't find anyone that was gonna do it the way that I wanted to do it. So in this video, I'm gonna share some little tips and the way I was able to do a budget-friendly trip to Paris, and I was able to stretch it out for 3 weeks. So first, my accommodation. We travel for long periods of time. It's called slow-madding. So in order to make this sustainable for us, we have to have a budget and we have to look at it in a month time span. So that made it a little bit difficult in booking Paris, and honestly I was nervous because I wasn't sure we were going to be able to spend that much time there. But I was able to find an Airbnb for $85 a night in a little town right outside. It's like the outskirts of Paris. It's called Clichy, and it has a lot going on. It's still very vibrant. And we were right across the street from the metro station, which made us really well connected. So it actually didn't even feel that far out. And we actually stayed for 3 weeks. So that comes out to about $1,800 US. All of these prices are gonna be in US prices. So if you need to convert, just keep that in mind. The next thing, the meals in Paris, we did want to make sure that we checked off a lot of meals while we were there because it has very renowned restaurants. So you want to make sure that you check those off if you're planning to go. And again, price range for restaurants there varies drastically. We stayed in about the 30 to 40 per plate range, and we would eat out at restaurants. I gauged around twice a week. So that came out to about 80 a week for restaurants, and then we were there for 3 weeks. We're looking at around 250 per week. Now, all the other times that we were not eating out at a restaurant, we would get grocery quite a bit. This is a little trick that we do that allows us to travel this way. We've been traveling this way for 5 years now, and it's because we cook at home pretty frequently too. We also both work online, so we don't have as much time as people who are on vacation traveling. You have all day to go out and explore and do all of these things. Us, for the most part, Monday through Thursday, I would say, we are still working. We still do our meal preps. We cook at home, and the grocery trips in Paris was actually, for my grocery trip, I was doing probably around 60 a week. I was doing one grocery trip a week, and I eat kind of the same things, and a lot of the ingredients I'll repurpose for multiple meals and things like that. So as long as I was spending 60 a week, which is what I end up doing almost anywhere I am in the world while we're traveling. So if you multiply that times 3, you're looking at about 180 a week in groceries. The next big attraction I for sure wanted tickets to, because I really wanted to see, was the Louvre. I do definitely recommend you get a ticket and go inside the Louvre. It's massive and it's beautiful, and you definitely need to spend 3 hours minimum there. I guess you could do 2 hours. You're just gonna miss a lot. Even at 3 hours, you're gonna miss a lot. The longer you can stay there, the better. The Louvre tickets, those were around $35 each. Little tip for you, get your ticket online in advance, because when you get it online, you're booking a time slot and you can skip the line, because I guarantee there's gonna be a long line. So skip the line. There's a smaller line there, but it's not that bad. Another little tip for you, the first Sunday of every month after 6 p.m., it's free to go into this museum outside of July and August, because those are peak seasons. But if you're going any month aside from July and August, I would recommend trying to plan your trip around the first Sunday of the month if it's possible. I know you have to take into consideration flight tickets and your time off and all of that, but just fun fact for you. Okay, and speaking of museums, there are a ton of museums in Paris. We didn't even get through half of the ones that I wanted to see, and we were there for 3 weeks. There's a lot of free museums. You can actually watch this video. I list out all of them in there. Definitely a budget-friendly way to enjoy Paris. Another cool thing that I love doing when I get to big cities is the free walking tours. It's just really good to walk around. You have a very different experience from Ubering around because you can run into different alleys and restaurants and little shops that you would not have seen if you're just Ubering from place to place to place. So free walking tours, I use an app called freetour.com. I'm not an affiliate, it's just a tip that I like to share. Tips are recommended, but you can actually just join the walk for free. Another thing, obviously the biggest thing in Paris, the Eiffel Tower. I read a lot of conflicting opinions on whether you should go all the way to the top. A lot of people recommended against it just because they said there's not much to see. What you want to see is the Eiffel Tower. We didn't end up doing the walk up, and instead we did a picnic on the lawn in front of the Eiffel Tower, which is free. We took a book, we had our snacks, and we just laid out there under the Eiffel Tower, and it was just actually such a beautiful experience and one of my favorite memories of Paris, for free. Another free thing that was really fun is the Tuileries Garden. The garden is free all year long, and it's so pretty. All the different paths that you can walk through. You have the fountain in the middle, and another great spot to have a little picnic and a photo shoot. Now, while you're getting around in Paris, this can be pricey unless you do it the smart way, which is what I am sharing with you. Navigo passes are game changer in Paris because it's a pass that allows you access to all the different transportations while you're there, and you pay a flat fee. They have weekly, monthly, annual. They even have day ones. I'm not sure what the price is for those, but the Navigo pass is completely worth it. And when we were looking at the prices, 3-week pass, which we would have to do week by week, so we would have to buy a weekly pass 3 times, actually came out to more than if we just got the month pass. So the month pass came out to around 95 US, and you just swipe it on all your transportations, all your metros, and everything is so well connected. It's a really good way to get around the city. Now, David and I love biking places. We do this in a lot of cities that we're in also. It's another really fun way to check out the city and just enjoy the little streets and cafes and shops that you wouldn't see if you were in the metro. And it's obviously a little bit faster than walking, but especially in a city like Paris, biking is, in my opinion, probably the best transportation if the weather permits it. Obviously, if it's raining, if you're not that great on a bike, just maybe don't do that. But if it's a sunny day, nice weather, if you're going, spring, summertime, biking is so nice. So we jumped on Lime bikes. We already had the app. There's no particular reason we chose Lime. It's just because we've used Lime bikes, that brand, in a lot of other countries also. So we just went ahead and used those, and they have electric bikes, which helps you go faster, and it's less pressure on the resistance when you're going uphill and the cobblestone roads, because there's lots of them. So it just made it a little bit easier for us. Those were a little more expensive than I was realizing. That was like $9 a ride, but we ended up using them. I broke it down and realizing we used them maybe like twice a week, because we mostly used them during the weekends while we were like exploring. Yeah, so the ride there and then a ride back, however you're going about it. But that came out to around 36 a week. Multiply that times the 3 weeks we were there, it comes out to like 108. But yeah, really fun way to see the city. Next up, like I mentioned before, David and I both work online, so we do have to work during the week. And since we were staying in Clichy, which is about a 30-minute metro outside of Paris, some days I wanted to go into Paris and work in Paris so that I could explore during the lunch or right after I'm finished working, just to be a little more central. And then sometimes we were just going to work there just because we wanted to get out of our Airbnb. So we found one called Unicorners Co-work, and it was really, really cute. They have good coffee included and little snacks too included with your day pass. The day passes were $28. We were working there maybe twice a week, times 3 weeks, that's like 168, I would estimate. A lot of cafes are not laptop friendly. That's something to note while you're in Europe, I noticed. Laptops are prohibited in a lot of cafes, and sometimes they have hours where you are allowed to use your laptop. So if you are nomading through some of these spaces, I would recommend first searching to see if you're even allowed to work at the cafe. That's why co-works are sometimes just your best bet. Okay, obviously while we're in Paris, we have to have some croissants and coffee. Croissants? But these are cheap, you guys. The coffee, it was like $1.50 per coffee. So obviously we were getting coffees quite a bit. And then mostly during breakfast, I would just go get a croissant too and my coffee. So that was like $5 each time I was there. And we went there quite a bit. I would say maybe 5 times a week. So I'm gonna estimate around $15 a week. And this comes out to like $45 in total for the 3 weeks we were there. Last little thing I have to include here is I do love thrifting when I go to places like this. Obviously, there's a bunch of luxury stores and luxury shopping. I personally didn't purchase anything from these luxury stores, even though I would love to, but I did go to thrift shops that do carry luxury brands, and those are so fun to find. But I ended up getting a few things at some of the thrift shops, and again, if you want a list of some of my favorite thrift shops that I went to, you can watch this video here. I break it all down for you. But that came out to around $200 for all the thrifting that I did. So there you have it. In total, with everything included for 3 weeks in Paris, it came out to around $2,881 US. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you did find any value in this, please give me a thumbs up on this video and drop a comment. Let me know what was your favorite part. If you made it this far and you want to watch more tips on how to travel through Paris and lots of other places, go ahead and subscribe. I upload weekly, and this is the bread and butter of what I create. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.